A final vote is expected today on a bill to bring harsher penalties to people possessing fentanyl. This morning, we're going over the recent changes made by lawmakers. The owners of Ball Arena want to redevelop the area around it, plus the parking lots. We're looking into how it could be transformed. And most of us get spam calls pretty often, but now they seem to come from some of Colorado's smallest towns. We're talking to the AG about why it's happening. 9 News Morning starts now.
And all hail Kale, right? Oh man, what a game it was for last night. The Avs at Ball Arena beating Nashville Predators in overtime to take a 2-0 lead in the Stanley Cup Series. Incredible goal by Cale Makar. Ariel Arsuto was there last night. She's going to have post-game reaction coming up in just a few minutes. That was a tough game, man. It was 1-1 for most of the game, obviously all of the game. And
yeah,
I was there.
I was like, come on, guys.
She was there.
The lucky charm.
What time did it get over?
My goodness. I was in bed till midnight, so.
Oh, my God.
You know, it's okay. It's Friday. Worth it.
You look great.
Thank you.
A lot of coffee, right?
And makeup,
yeah.
Yes.
I feel that.
But it works.
Yeah.
But it does work.
Right.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Hey, as far as our weather goes, we're starting to dry it out again. That's the bad news because red flag warnings, fire weather watches are all out. But the weather will be fairly nice. So you see the clouds around. That's what we'll see. That mixture of high clouds today, mixture of clouds and sunshine. 50 degrees right now, so pretty mild. You can see those clouds just pushing across the state, and that's the way it's going to be. Futurecast shows that we'll see the clouds today. Believe it or not, it clears overnight, but then the clouds are back tomorrow, and a little shortwave moves through, and I think a couple of scattered showers mainly confined to higher elevations. So here's the way the forecast goes today. 80 degrees, 66 is normal for this time of year. Tomorrow, 87. That would tie the 1989 record high. And then on Mother's Day, maybe an isolated storm, but they'll be few and far between. Pretty nice day at 77 degrees. Pretty much more of the same for your Monday.
Ed, thank you so much. We do want to get you out the door this morning as we take a look at 270 and York Street. Very quiet. No problems as you get ready to travel into Commerce City at this hour. Now, the map looks a little bit deceiving because we do have a crash this morning under investigation. Injury crash along eastbound 56th Avenue this morning. It's closed between Peoria and Chambers. So that is one spot you need to avoid. Aside from that, really just looking at all green on our map. Your commute time into Commerce City on westbound 76 is just a quick 10 minutes right now. And we're also smooth sailing on southbound I-25 between 144th Avenue and 76. That drive only going to take you 8 minutes.
And today a final vote is expected in the state Senate on Colorado's fentanyl bill, but that doesn't mean it'll be the final version. 9 News reporter Darius Johnson following this for us this morning. And Darius, there are still steps to go and the clock is ticking.
Yes, indeed, Gary. We are racing against the clock as the current legislative session ends next Wednesday. And there are now some amendments to this bill that would require the House to agree or disagree in order for this bill to continue moving forward. The state Senate amended the bill to remove the word knowingly from being tied to fentanyl possession. The change essentially means anyone who possesses more than a gram of any drug laced with fentanyl, whether they knew it or not, can face a felony. One thing that came up during this session is the fact that people are paying attention to this bill, and all they would have to say during an arrest is, "I didn't know," in order to get off. 3 Democrats joined the Republicans in adopting the amendment. Failed amendments from Republican Senator Bob Gardner of Colorado Springs include repealing felony provision after 3 years, jail time resulting in death for as little as 1 pill, and 0 tolerance for possession. But lawmakers do want to increase penalties for anyone who distributes the drug. It's now up to the House on whether they will agree with the Senate's amendments that they just made on yesterday. The Senate's final vote is expected later on today. Again, Gary, this legislative session ends next Wednesday, so there is a lot that needs to get done until then.
I know it's a priority because they've been working on it for weeks, so hopefully they'll get it done.
Yes, indeed. I think many families who are there also are hoping the same thing.
All right, Darius, thank you for that. A former Loveland police officer who assaulted a 73-year-old woman who had dementia will serve prison time. Austin Hopp was sentenced to 5 years for second-degree assault. He pleaded guilty back in March. Hopp arrested Karen Gardner in June of 2020. Video of the arrest shows Hopp shoving her to the ground. It broke her arm, dislocated her shoulder, and sprained her wrist. Gardner's family asked for the maximum sentence, which was 8 years, but they say they're still satisfied with this.
it's taken stress and toll on us as a family, over these last few years. But today is starting to bring some closure to us.
Gardner, who once again has dementia, was accused of shoplifting about $14 worth of items from Walmart. A second former officer involved in the arrest, Daria Jalali, is due in court next month.
A hazmat facility in Boulder is back open now after a military device was dropped off there. Boulder police say the regional bomb squad and the Army examined and removed the item. Military inspectors were there for the second day yesterday trying to figure out what kind of device it was. It's only been described as a submunition. They haven't released any pictures of it.
Denver is considering new fees for trash pickups. They say it's to cut back on the amount of waste that ends up in landfills. The city says the fees would range from $9 to $21. Weekly recycling and composting would be free. They want recycling efforts to be better in the city. Right now, Denver's below the national average when it comes to recycling. Before the city presents its idea to City Council, it's reaching out to people for feedback.
It was a late night and a great night. The Avs heading into Game 3 of the playoffs, up 2-0 against the Predators. They pulled off a huge win in overtime last night. Cale Makar was the hero. 9 News sports reporter Ariel Osutto has a reaction from Ball Arena.
Cale Makar holds, looks into the slot, shot blocked away, another shot, score!
It was one of Cale Makar's 12 shots on goal, and he finally struck gold. It was a reward for the team's 51 total shots throughout the game.
Eventually, most of the time, the hockey gods are going to reward you for that hard work, and for us, we were able to get a lucky one in overtime.
Obviously, their goalie was making a ton of saves throughout the game, but I'm super confident with our group that eventually one's going to go in with the skill that we have and the talented players we have. And Cale was able to come up with the clutch goal.
Tonight's first star with the game-winning goal, number 8, Cale Makar.
The Avalanche leaves Colorado up 2-0, winning each of those games in completely different styles.
Our message was keep doing what we're doing. We had a couple little pointers for the guys after the first, after the second, and again after the third. But, I mean, you got to believe that if you keep playing like that and keep doing the right things and you're checking games in order, that you're going to find a way.
The Avs have beaten the Nashville Predators 2-1 in Game 2 of the Stanley Cup playoffs.
If the Avs can earn the sweep in Nashville, it'll be music to fans' ears. Puck drop for Game 3 is 2:30 on Saturday. From Ball Arena, Ariel Osutto, 9 News.
We were just talking about how good that goalie from Nashville was, and he's like the third string goalie.
It's crazy. He blocked like 50 shots.
Yeah. Yeah,
it was a crazy game.
Exciting game.
Really good. And this doesn't have anything to do with anything, but did you notice Jared Bednar on the bench had a 3-piece suit on? He looked so GQ. I mean, it was like...
Can we think back to last season when he had like really long hair and he was stuffy, and now look how clean cut he is?
Cleans up nice.
Yes, he does. Looking dapper.
Anyway, all right, go Avs.
So go Avs big time. The area around Ball Arena, by the way, could look a little different in the next few years.
Yeah, the owners are proposing a plan to redevelop that area, including the parking lots, to give it more of a neighborhood feel.
Here is a picture of their vision for it. The park is a big part of what they want to do there, the park in the middle. And they want people not just to go to the games, but then to stay and hang out, to go to a restaurant, to go shopping, to work, even to live there.
It will also serve our neighborhoods. So the park, for example, the concept for bringing more green space to downtown Denver, more restaurants, more amenities that will serve the community here in downtown. So it really is one of those transformative developments that serves all of those purposes.
Now, if you're not a fan of what you're hearing, if you do like the parking lot, well, then there are opportunities for you to give feedback on the plan.